Hey, Eli. How are you?
I'm good.
Good. Where did you leave off yesterday in class?
Number 19.
Number 19. Do you feel pretty good about like 10 through 18? Or would you like me to review those? Or at
Can
least
you
3 of
start
them?
on 19, please?
Yes. Okay. These were the product of sum and difference. So they were different than the product of the square, because these up here were where you were supposed to write out, you know, the fact that that was x plus 4 times x plus 4. And down here, this z is the same as this z, and 5 and 5 are the same. The only thing that's different on each one of these, 19 through 27, is the fact that the middle sign is different in each of the polynomials. One is addition and one is subtraction. So your final answer is going to be what you're tempted to write for 10 through 18. So number 19, and because I've got such little space over here, Eli, I'm going to put 19 over here. The answer is going to be z squared minus 25. So basically you square the first term and you square the last term and you put a minus sign in the middle when it looks like this. And this is called the difference of two squares. So number 20, we'll square the first one, which is b. So b times b is what?
B squared.
Correct. And 2 times 2 is?
4.
Yep. So that's going to be b squared minus 4. So number 21, n times n is n squared. And negative 8 times a positive 8 is negative 64. And the reason for this is if you were to go back to do the foiling like we did on Monday, that middle term, which is going to turn out to be, you know, like for each one of these, is going to cancel. So when it's the product of a sum and a difference, it's just going to turn out the answer is going to be a binomial. So 22 is a squared minus 100. 23 is going to be 4x squared minus 1. 24, 5m times 5m is what?
Can you say that again, please?
5m times 5m for 24.
10m squared.
No, that you're multiplying on this one. So these are all squares.
25m squared.
Yes, sir. Good job. So 25m squared, and then 1 times 1 is 1. So basically what you're doing is squaring that first term. So number 25, what's the answer going to be? Four
D squared.
Yeah.
Plus 1.
Well, it's going to be minus. Always a minus sign in the middle. Always a minus. Because you've got a positive 1 times a negative 1. So that's why the answer is technically called the difference of two squares. The answer has a special name, and we're going to be learning more about that next week. Okay, so number 26, 3p times 3p, 9p squared minus 4. And number 27. Have you done that one yet?
I haven't done 27 yet.
Okay.
Four R squared minus 3 minus 9.
Minus 9. Yep. Perfect. Good job. That is it.
Way to go, Eli.
My family's here rooting you on. The good thing about getting to do math lab at home, right? All right. Eli, did you have any other questions? And I noticed some other people showed up for math lab. And Roger, I know you were absent yesterday, so I need to get the worksheets to you. So I'll email you those. Does anybody else have any other questions? On maybe 1 through 18. And remember, like I said yesterday in class, these are all like special patterns or product patterns. And you can always go back to foiling like we did on Monday. But this is just a shortcut for these special binomials. So when the binomial is the product of a sum and a difference, you can understand that middle term that when you were foiling, the O and the I, when it's the product of a sum and a difference, these two terms from FOIL actually cancel out. So you're only left with the first and the last. And that's why these look like that.
Hey, could you do some of the ones that are in 1 through 6 at the top?
Yeah. You're just supposed to find that middle term on 1 through 4, and then the final term on 5 and 6. So the middle term is the one that's actually the quote unquote, in class, I called it the doubled term. Some of you might prefer to think of it as multiplying by 2. So what you're going to do on number 1 is you multiply A times B, which is what?
AB. I don't know.
Yes. And now, yes, A times B is AB. And now multiply that by 2.
AB to the second or something?
No. When that would be AB times AB. AB times AB is A squared B squared. But when you multiply AB times 2, it's 2AB. You're doubling AB. So if I had AB plus AB, which is what you would get if you FOILed, you would tell me it was 2AB. So you're just doubling that middle term on the FOIL, the OI. Okay, so M times N is
MN. I'm sorry, I was trying to write.
That's okay. MN, you're right. So 2 times MN is 2MN. Okay, now X times -1.
Negative 1x? Or just
Yep.
negative x?
Well, you could either way. If you want to write the 1, just it's fine. It's not going to hurt anything. Negative x and negative 1x are literally the same thing, just written differently. But they mean the exact same thing. So then multiplied by 2, negative 2x. All right. Now 5 times x is what?
5x.
Good job. And 5x times 2 is
10x.
10x. All right. Now for these, they're like 19 through 27. So the first term in each of the binomials is the same, and the second term in each of the binomials is the same. So and the only difference is one is a minus and one is a plus. So that means in that FOIL thing that we do, this part right here is going to cancel out, leaving only the first and the last. So it's going to be x squared minus what's y, negative y times a positive y.
Negative y squared.
Negative y squared. Good job, Eli. All right, so number 6. Once again, that the middle two terms, that OI is going to cancel out because the first term in each of the binomials is the same. The second term in each of the binomials is the same. The only thing that's different is the sign in the middle. One is minus, one is plus. So that means it's only going to have the first and last term. So you've got x times x, which they put x squared. And now negative 3 times a positive 3 is what?
Cancels out.
No, the middle terms do cancel out, but negative 3 times a positive 3.
Oh, negative 1. Sorry.
No, a negative 3 times a positive 3.
Oh my gosh. Okay. I know. It's negative 9. I'm so sorry.
No, you're fine. You're fine. It's okay. It's okay. We got it. So that's x squared minus 9. So 5 and 6 are like 19 through 27. 1 through 4 are more like 10 through 18. And 7 through 9 are basically, you were supposed to match those. And 7 matches with C. And you'll see 8 matches with A because you've got 2x times 2x, which is 4x squared, and 3 times 3, which is 9. And then for that middle term, the OI, you multiply 2x times 3, which is 6x. And then you multiply that by 2, which is 12x.
Was the answer for number 5 negative?
Well, see, here's the negative right there.
Okay.
They kind of fill that in for you. Because it's the difference of 2 squares. And so 9 is B. So if I were doing number 10 and just applying the pattern, I would have x squared. And then the middle term is going to be 4 times x times 2. So that's going to be 8x. And then 4 times 4 is 16. And number 11, I would have m times m. So that's going to be m squared. And then m times negative 8, which is going to be negative 8m times 2 is negative 16m. And then negative 8 times negative 8 is a positive 64. Like number 17, 4n times 4n is 16n squared. And then 4n times 2 is 8n, because you're multiplying these two. And then times 2 again, because we have to double it. So that's going to be 16n. And then 2 times 2 is 4. And number 16, 10r times 10r is 100r squared. And then 10r times 1, negative 1, is negative 10r. And then negative 10r times 2 is negative 20r. And negative 1 times negative 1 is a positive 1. That leaves y'all a few to do on your own. Unless y'all have a question. Oh, you're welcome. Does anybody else have a question on any of these? I've done almost all of them. The only one, oh, you're welcome. The only ones really left for you to do are 12, 13, 14, 15, and 18, because the rest of them I've kind of gotten handled for you guys, but that does give you a few, and hopefully you can kind of see this product pattern happening and you're able to apply it. Worst case scenario, like I said, if you need to, you can always go back to foiling like we did on Monday. You can always default to that. Just make sure on like 10 through 18 that you understand, like, let me see. These worksheets give me so little room to write. Like, okay, so like number 11, 10 through 18, you got to remember that when this little square's there, it's x plus 4 times x plus 4. So if you're not going to apply the special product pattern that I've taught, you have to FOIL. And so you would want to write out both binomials next to each other and FOIL as normal. But you are only required to do numbers 1 through 27. On this worksheet. Roger or Amanda, if you want to, you can text me a question if you have one. Oh, thank you, Amanda. I appreciate you coming to Math Lab. And if you were struggling on any of these, don't forget to email me or whatever. But you seem to be doing good in class yesterday too. So, but thank you so much for coming to Math Lab. And Roger, if you need any further help, I'll be glad to help you as well. And I'm in the midst of sending you the worksheets. You have a great day too, Amanda.
Thank Mr. Marks. Bye.
Oh, you're welcome. Bye-bye. Have a great day.